So another guy that we can talk about that was probably the player of the game, Deone Walker.
Yeah.
Deone Walker is our tapped-in player of the game presented by Thin Man Brewery. The guy was lights out yesterday. Like, so exciting to finish the preseason like that. Let me hear your thoughts on big old Deone Walker at nose tackle for the Bills.
I mean, he's so noticeable because of his size, right? I mean, we know that, but his production was there too. That's why he was noticeable. 4 total tackles, 1 for a loss, a half a sack, a QB pressure. He was filling up the stat sheet.
Yeah.
But the thing that we kept hearing about Deone Walker when he was drafted and then early on in camp, Eric, was a man that big shouldn't be able to move that well. And I think last night you saw that a few times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eric Wood gave a great nugget on the radio broadcast. He said he was talking with Connor McGovern. And Connor McGovern, who goes against Deone Walker a lot, said, this guy is so big. When you go against guys like that, you think their power, they're getting into you. He said, but he has more wiggle, and you can't just play him like that. You can't just play him straight up thinking, okay, he's coming into me. He's a big guy, and I got to hold anchor here. He has wiggle, and you got to be aware of him being able to move a little bit. That's just now you put yourself into a center or a guard in their mind when they're going against him, and you don't know if he's going to have a move on you, if he's just going to try and power through you. Now you're even enhancing your ability to make plays if you're Deone Walker. I thought it was great last night. This is really a guy. Somebody asked me, or at least saw the question, like, how the heck did the Bills wind up getting this guy in the 4th round? Well, let's remember what happened. He was considered a fringe first-round pick a year ago, and he didn't have a great year. And then when he went to, and then he came back to school, and he didn't have a great year. And then they realized that, like, his pro day, I think it was, Eric, that he had a back issue he was dealing with that nobody really knew about, and it wasn't bothering him enough that he kind of noticed it, but it was probably hindering him playing. And I think now we're starting to see a healthy Deone Walker, which is great.
Yeah, quick off the snap, violent hands. There were moments where he was just overwhelming every single guy he was going up against. I thought he dominated once again, like you saw in the Bears game. Anytime they run a gap run, so where they have an offensive lineman try to pin him down or down block him, he sees it and he just swims it with such violence and drops guys to their knees. The point about the wiggle, I love that because, yes, he's big and he's quick, but what he can do, he's so long and big as well that he can play at length. And he did it a lot yesterday where he plays at arm's length and he can hold those offensive linemen at bay when they're still trying to drive him and move him against his will. But he's got the footwork and feet to work around his hands where he can keep his hands in one spot and control the guy, move his feet around to win the edge. And he did that multiple times in that game yesterday, almost to the point where he was almost two-gapping, quasi two-gapping, not literally stacking, shedding, playing 2 gaps, but because he was so overwhelming and his feet were able to move independently of his hands, he was essentially 2-gapping and playing basically the linebacker and the D lineman's job in one play. I thought those were all pluses in his book. Couple plays, pad level still a little high, mainly when the offensive line is trying to zone block and move him laterally down the line of scrimmage. He'll insert into his gap, but then his pads are a little high and he struggles to kind of anchor down and shed. But overall, he is definitely the tapped-in player of this game. He just took over at times. And you mentioned Michael Hoyt at the beginning of this broadcast. Those 2 players just looked ready for week 1 in the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Bills won't have Michael Hoyt, obviously, for week 1 or for the first 6 games. And then they'll get him back for the 7th game, which is actually after the bye against the Carolina Panthers. Michael Hoyt said he's going to be sticking around close by. He can't even go to the facility to be with his team, to go into meetings, to go in the weight room. So he's got to train on his own. He's got to kind of do everything right on his own, which he will. He's committed. He's dedicated. He said that. Then he'll come back in, and after week 4, that's when they can get back with their team, start practicing, and well, at least in meetings and things like that before they get back on the field. So that's good. But Deone Walker, I think it's interesting that he actually didn't even like take full reps the first like rookie minicamp when he was drafted because of the back he was recovering from. And now it's just like, okay, there was question like, oh, is this guy even going to start like training camp on PUP? No, I mean, he's ready to go. As you said, love it. I just looked up that stat. So the Bills through 3 preseason games, Eric, only allowed 3.47 yards per rush. Now I know it's preseason, but that is actually that's 4th best in the NFL amongst preseason defenses, 3.47 yards a rush. And I'd say a lot of that is their 2 rookie tackles, TJ Sanders, of course, who I think he's played well, and especially Deone Walker.
Yeah, Deone Walker as well. Yeah, I like where where we're headed when it comes to the interior defensive line, and obviously Deone Walker being our tapped in player of the game. Keep an eye out for things at Thin Man Brewery. The fan favorite Pills Mafia is getting a bold rebrand and is bringing back up, introducing Mafia Lights, already out in stores now in Western New York. It's a new tailgate essential. Mafia Light hits different with just 3.5% ABV and only 80 calories per 12-ounce can. Drinks like water with notes of beer. We appreciate them sponsoring this segment for the year, and we appreciate the hell of a game by Deone Walker and things to come for him as a player